What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today I'm going to be talking about the previous video I did, my Aquaman versus Star Wars video. And in that video, I talk about how there is a right way and a wrong way to make a bad movie. Now, I'm pretty sure neither one of these movies intended to be a bad movie, but they are. Let's face it, The Last Jedi was horrible. It destroyed Star Wars, it divided the fan base, and the people that were involved with the movie insulted the fans for calling it out on plot holes and basically everything that was wrong with it, which was the entire movie, basically. And then you have Aquaman, which is a very bad movie, but it is a fun bad movie. It is a forgiving bad movie, but at the end of the day, it is still a bad movie. And it's fun. I enjoyed watching it. I'm probably never going to watch it again, but it was a fun movie to watch. It was enjoyable, and it is making money and breaking records throughout the entire world. So that is, in definition, the right way to make a bad movie. Now, I started getting attacked by people because I called it out on its plot holes, and I was reading the comments and talking to Jessi, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. The way that people are defending this movie is exactly like she said. It's the way people defend The Last Jedi, and I said this before, it's okay if you like Aquaman. I myself enjoyed Aquaman. It's not my favorite movie. I'm never going to see it again, but it's enjoyable. I can see why it's making money because it is enjoyable for anyone at any age. A child can go see it. My grandfather can go see it. I went and saw it. My father can go see it. My younger sisters can go see it. Anyone at any age can go see it, and it's going to be fun. That being said, it does have a lot of problems. There is nothing wrong with a movie having problems. Movies, like Jessi said, are very hard to make, so I'm a human being. I can forgive that something has a problem. Some of my favorite movies of all times have problems, but, you know, that's just the way the world works. Things are going to have problems. The reason why I couldn't love Aquaman and I could see that it was a bad movie is because it just seemed like there wasn't a cohesive storyline that they were going through. I feel like they had a plot that they wanted to, get Aquaman from point A to point B, and then they're like, oh, wait, yeah, but let's throw this in there, let's throw this in there. And if it would have been edited differently, it would have made more sense. That is why I had problems with, the whole flashback sequences. That being said, I did say in my last video that it was ridiculous, I said that a lot, and that it didn't make sense. I wasn't talking about Aquaman's goal. I understand it's a hero's journey. He's getting from point A to point B. He's going from being Arthur to being Aquaman, the king of the seas. That's a very easy, storyline. That's not what I was talking about. The parts that I thought were ridiculous, and the reason why I thought the whole movie was ridiculous was because it just got, weirder and weirder. The part where he's sitting with his dad in a bar, and then bikers come up, you think they're gonna fight, but instead they want to take selfies, and the biker dude has a pink phone. That is ridiculous. I get it. It's funny. I laughed. I think I almost started crying at that part from laughing so hard because it's so ridiculous and over the top. Somebody said I was being too melodramatic. This movie is melodramatic. This movie is like a farce. It's hilarious. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And I think that's why it works. It's because it's not a serious movie. It's supposed to be a fun movie. You're going on an adventure with Aquaman. And that's why, as I said, I enjoyed it because I took it for what it was. It's a ridiculous movie. This dude can breathe underwater and talk to fish. That in itself is a ridiculous concept. Superman, in another sense, yeah, he's this, he comes to Earth and he's Superman because he has powers from the Earth's sun and he's an alien from another planet and his sun was different. That's why when he's on our planet, he has superpowers. That's a ridiculous concept, but the way that you see Superman portrayed is in more of a serious sense. And the way that they do Superman movies, at least the Christopher Reeves ones, those ones work very well. Now, this Aquaman, it does work. That is why it is a successful bad movie, but it is a bad movie still the same because of, maybe I should rephrase that. It is my definition of a bad movie. It doesn't have to be your definition of a bad movie. every single person has different standards for the way a movie should be made. I personally prefer the more serious type movies. Unless I'm going to a comedy, then I'm going in knowing it's going to be a comedy. I had a feeling there was going to be some jokes, and it was going to be more laid back as compared to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman did have jokes in it, which were at the appropriate places, which made it, funny, and it's as believable as a superhero hero can get. But with this, I guess I'm always going in expecting there to be a little bit more. I'm expecting, like I've said before, The Dark Knight. I expected to learn more about Aquaman. I was expecting Jason Momoa to have more depth to him. And I saw people saying in the comments of my last Aquaman video that Jason Momoa is not a good actor. I don't agree with that. What I've seen him in, he's been a good actor, but I feel like he's been typecasted as, oh, he's this big, good-looking, muscular man. Let's put him in and, have him punch things. Let's have him go fight. Which, that's how he was portrayed in Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones, every scene that he was in was very serious. You weren't laughing when Khal Drogo was there. That was this guy's gonna kill you. You were afraid of him. He was, when he's with Khaleesi, it's like, aw, how cute, they fell in love. But it's like, when you look at it, that's very serious. That's some hardcore stuff that's going on. Not just in the beginning when he's with Khaleesi and there's the rape scenes, but then it's also when, they fall in love and then he's the Khal, he's the main one. This guy's gonna, wage war against Westeros. He's gonna take his little queen, get all of his horsemen, and go across the seas to the Seven Kingdom. That's serious. Even though he was not speaking English, he was a good actor. I liked him. That was I've seen him in a couple other movies, but that was his most memorable role to me, at least. Maybe it's because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, but I was expecting a little bit more to his character, and I feel like the only characters that really got fleshed out were his parents and was William Dafoe's character. Now, William Dafoe's character, I feel like that's the character that I was like, I want to see more of him. This guy's cool. How come he went, how did he meet him? Why is all of a sudden he just there with Aquaman? He talks about his mom, and Aquaman knows a little bit about his mother, which was kind of confusing about the flashback sequences. It's like, oh, he's just there and he just knows William Dafoe's character, and he's just, why is the dad not arguing with him getting trained? What's going on? If they would have shown more of that, and instead of doing flashbacks, just showed more cohesive how they started off in the beginning introducing the mom, and he is kind of narrating it about how his parents met and fell in love and how he was little and the mom, had to go, even though, like I said, they should have moved to freaking Nebraska to get away from the ocean, but no, let's live literally 10 steps away from the ocean so the Atlanteans can come and get her. But yeah, again, one of the reasons why I think it's ridiculous, and because when I am faced with a problem, I have to look at every single angle and think it through. So I don't understand why characters in movies don't do the same, because I'm trying to relate it to real life. Now, I think that this movie was the way it's set up. If it was a cartoon, it's perfect. The way, just the storyboarding, the sequences, the fight scenes. I feel like this would have been amazing if it was animated. This would have been a great animated movie, and I feel like I would have liked it more if it was an animated movie, because I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, this is an animation. When I watch Monsters, Inc., I'm not, even though I can relate it to real life in a way, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's Monsters, Inc., it's make-believe type of stuff. But with this, I just wish that there would have been more depth, and I feel like because Jason Momoa has been typecasted, it's like, oh, let's make him look sexy, which, I don't have a problem with him looking sexy. He's a great looking man. Yeah, that's awesome to look at. But at the same time, I wanted to see more, which is why I was disappointed. I was laughing the whole time. I enjoyed the movie, but it doesn't have depth enough for me to want to watch it again. And that is just my opinion. And I got attacked in my comments. Somebody said that, oh, because you're a girl, you might not understand all of the action sequences. And I was talking to Jessi, I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Somebody saying that, oh, because I didn't like the movie because there's too much action. I said, there is, it's action, 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 and it just gets more ridiculous and ridiculous and ridiculous, and then there's crab people, and there's trench people. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I did enjoy the action sequence at the end when Aquaman comes in, and I was like, oh my god, now he's got this. What else could they possibly begin? But that doesn't mean that I don't like action movies. I mean, just look at Star Wars, the movie I was comparing it to. The Last Jedi. Nothing in that is interesting. The lightsaber duel in The Last Jedi is ridiculously stupid. And they take out Rey's, or the guard's thing that could have stabbed Rey. When you go and watch Ivan's re-edit of that scene and how he goes through and explains how there's no intensity to that, it's very upsetting when action sequences is done wrong. One of my favorite movies is The Matrix. That movie is full of action. I love the movie Die Hard. What is that movie? It's an action movie. Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are amazing movies. Guess what? They're action movies, and I love the action sequences. Not a lot of people know this about me, but I'm also a huge James Bond fan. My favorite parts of the James Bond movies are the action sequence because you get to see James Bond looking cool. So don't say just because I'm a woman I cannot appreciate action sequences. When you watch Star Wars, some of the most intense fight scenes are when they do the lightsaber battles. And guess what? Oh my gosh, that's an action sequence. Blowing up the Death Star, an action sequence. And guess what? Star Wars proves that you can put emotion and depth into a fighting scene. You can criticize the prequels as much as you want, but Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon face Darth Maul, you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that you do not feel something. That is a very emotionally stimulating scene. You can feel for Obi-Wan Kenobi when he lets his anger take over and he defeats Darth Maul and he kills him, and then when he's holding Qui-Gon, you feel something. When Luke fights Darth Vader for the first time and Darth Vader defeats him and tells him that he's his father, you feel something. When Luke goes and faces Darth Vader and has to fight him in front of the Emperor, and Luke says, "I would rather die than join the dark side," and Vader's watching as the Emperor is killing his son, you feel something. There is nothing wrong with a girl liking action sequences. There is nothing wrong with action movies. I enjoy action movies when they make me feel something. When I watch The Matrix, I am watching Neo fight because he is the chosen one and he is trying to save humanity. When I am watching Terminator, the first one, I'm watching Sarah Connor try to survive so that way she can raise her unborn child and who is going to save humanity. That's a serious thing and the fighting makes sense. When I'm watching Terminator 2, I'm watching the Terminator help Sarah Connor and John try to destroy Skynet so the world doesn't end. That is serious. The action in it has meaning behind it. In Aquaman, yes, it has meaning, but it is not as serious. I don't feel connected to these characters. Yes, I care if Aquaman lives or dies, but in the end of the day, I know he's gonna live. There's nothing for me to worry about. I'm not worried about these characters because I know they're going to be fine. It doesn't have any, it doesn't resonate with me. I'm not worried about them. I have no fear. That's the problem with the Aquaman action sequences, is I'm not emotionally connected to the characters and it doesn't make me fear for their lives. So yes, it's okay to like Aquaman. Like I said many times, I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. I'm never going to watch it again. Unless I have to, unless it's on in the background, or if I'm at a friend's house and they want to watch it, I'm not going to give it my full attention. But at the end of the day, it's not the best movie in the world. It's not. It might be making the most money as any movie in the world, but it's not the best. It is not a good, or in my definition, it's not a good movie. It's a bad movie that's done well, that's making money. The Last Jedi is a horrible movie. It made money because it had Star Wars in the name. That's the only reason that movie made money. You are more than welcome to disagree with me, but attacking me and saying because I'm a girl I don't like action movies and that, oh, you were just there to see Jason Momoa. Yeah, I was just there to see Jason Momoa. I wasn't expecting too much, but that's part of what I do here on YouTube is I talk about movies and people tend to like my opinion. It's fine if you don't. It's completely fine. There was plenty of nice people in the comments of my other video that said, hey, I disagree with you, I liked it, but I respect you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the few good people out there. But attacking me because I'm a woman and saying I did not understand this movie because it's an action movie, get off your high horse. That is just absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? At some point, I do feel like people might just be saying things because they enjoy me ranting. So that being said, everyone, I'm kind of out of breath. I need to go get a drink of water or juice or whatever the heck I have in my fridge. So everyone, have a great rest of your day. And may the Force be with you, because we are really going to need it.